Okay, so I'm gonna read another Goosebumps book today. This is the last fresh one that I have just now, but I've left bookmarks in my other ones, so I feel like I can revisit some other adventures. So today is Give Yourself Goosebumps number 7, which is Under the Magician's Spell. Right now I can't really hear in this ear. I called the GP about it. They said wait 6 weeks, so I'm gonna do that, but it might mean that I'm yelling quite a lot. Sorry about that. Okay, so we'll read the back. Um, you found a new magic shop. Unfortunately, so has your little sister. Before you know it, she's run out of the shop with a book of magic spells, but the evil magician wants his book back, and he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. Can you discover the secrets of the magic book and save your sister before the magician makes her disappear forever? Will you be sliced in half in the masked man's magic show? I wonder if it is the man from like Breaking the Magician's Code, Secrets Unleashed or whatever. I hope it is. And finally, dare you unleash the spell of the genie? The choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure that is packed with over 20 super spooky endings, as they all are. How many endings I usually get in one of these books, God knows. Okay. Okay. This is a weird intro. I thought I'd maybe skipped a wrong page or something, but no, page 1. You flatten yourself against the wall. You listen hard for a noise, any noise. Will you be able to make your escape? The only sound you hear is your raspy breathing. You slowly peer around the corner. All clear. It's never, never, you murmur. You take a deep breath and sprint towards freedom. Bang! The door slams behind you as you fling yourself on the lawn. Made it, you cheer, but you know there's no time to celebrate. You glance around, so far so good. You race around the side of the house and come to a dead stop. There they are, standing right by your bicycle, your mother and your little sister Joni. Hi, sweetie, your mother greets you. Where are you off to in such a hurry? Your stomach sinks to your toes. You were so close to escape. Now you know what's coming. I'm meeting Sid at the mall, you mumble to your mum. That sounds like fun, dear. I'm sure Joni would like to go too. Ma, you wail, Joni is such a pain. She gets into everything. I have to watch her every second. Joni will behave, won't you, cutie? Your mother turns to Joni and kisses her cheek. Joni nods sweetly. She gives you a big fake smile. Goodbye fun, you think. Your bratty 9-year-old sister always gets you into trouble. She has to touch everything she sees. Break it or take it seems to be Joni's motto. But she's so disgustingly cute. No one ever seems to get angry with her. Grown-ups love her brown curls and bright blue eyes. Look, Joni wants to hold your hand. Your mother gushes. Isn't that cute? Before you puke, turn to page 3. You shake off Joni's hand. Once your mother is out of sight, you know Joni will drop her cutie pie routine. Listen up, Joni, you tell her. I'm in charge, so hurry up and grab your bike. I'm already late. I have to get my diary first, Joni says. That stupid diary. Joni never goes anywhere without it. You two have fun, your mother yells. Then she follows Joni into the house. Joni, you holler, I'm leaving now. You jump on your bike and pedal as fast as you can. Hopefully, none of your friends will spot you riding to the mall with your little sister. You glance back and see that Joni is pedaling hard to keep up with you. When you reach the mall, you and Joni lock your bikes to the rack. Don't wander off, you instruct Joni, who me. You roll your eyes at Joni's sickly sweet act. You rush through the mall to meet your friend Sid. You spot him pacing in front of the comic connection. Sid is wearing a blue jacket that is a little too small for his chubby frame. He runs a hand through his spiky blonde hair. Where were you? He demands as you hurry over to him. My mum made me bring Joni, you explain. Really? Sid raises an eyebrow. Then where is the little princess? Oh no, have you lost Joni already? Turn to page 7. Jesus. Okay. Joni has already disappeared. Too bad you can't just let her stay lost. You glance around the mall. There she is, you say, pointing across the courtyard. Joni stands frozen in front of a shop window, as if she were in a trance. For a moment you can swear her feet are floating centimetres off the floor. Can't be, you tell yourself. You blink and look again. No, her feet are still on the ground. The magic shop, you read the shop sign aloud. She's going in, Sid warns. Come on, you cry. We've got to get her out of there. The shop won't know what hit it. You and Sid follow Joni into the magic shop. It takes a few seconds for your eyes to adjust to the dim light. Sid gives a little gasp beside you. Wow, you murmur. The shop is filled from floor to ceiling with magic tricks. Of course, Joni is touching every single one. You shake your head as you watch her fiddling with a mini guillotine, but then she sticks her finger under the tiny blade. Joni, don't, you shout. Before you can stop her, she pulls the string. The blade drops right through her finger. Rush to page 114. Joni, don't move. You race to her side. Your mum will be furious if you allow Joni to chop her finger off. You force yourself to look down at your sister's hand. You hope you'll be able to stand the sight of the blood. Joni pulls her hand from the guillotine. She grins up at you, waving all 5 fingers. Do you strangle Joni now? Turn to page 25. Or do you use every ounce of strength to try and ignore your sister's little tricks? Turn to page 6. God, the first choice already. Um, I think I'm going to turn to page 25 as Strangler. I'm going to keep my finger in the book because I feel like that might be an ending. Who knows? Oh, okay. Come on, you know better than that. If you touch a head on Joni's head, you'll be grounded for life and you won't be able to finish the rest of your adventure. So take a deep breath, count to 10, and you be nice to your little sister. Go on, you can do it. Jesus, Adelstein. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be okay with her. But if there's another opportunity to strangle her, hopefully they'll go through with it. Tony, you spit out through clenched teeth. We've only just arrived, and you've already. You're interrupted by a poke in the back. You whirl around. There's Sid with a goofy smile on his face. Oops, Sid says sheepishly. He holds up his hands. They're handcuffed together. Sid, you scold him. You're as bad as Joni. A booming voice makes you jump. I see that you are enjoying my magic tricks. Great, you think. The shop owner. Now we'll have to pay for the tricks we've touched. But where is he? You glance around the shop. You don't see anyone. You smell something though. Something musty and rotten. Oh God, that's awful. Welcome to the magic shop, the voice says. A tall, thin man with a skinny moustache steps out of the shadows. He's dressed all in black. His cape whirls around him. There is as if there was a strong wind blowing. Except you remind yourself, we're indoors. I am the magician, the tall man declares. Turn to page 125. Great shot, Mr. Magician. You use your politest voice. Sick. That was a good move. Maybe that way he won't be angry about Sid and Joni playing with the tricks. Yeah, cool stuff. Sid pipes up. He reaches out to shake the magician's hand. What a jerk. He must have forgotten he was handcuffed. The magician peers down at Sid's wrist. You hear a low rumble that gradually turns to a creepy laugh. Sid's sorry about trying on the handcuffs. You elbow Sid so that he'll put on his most sorry looking face. He does. But we really have to get home, you continue. So if you could get the key, the magician brings his face directly in front of yours. You notice little wisps of smoke escaping his collar. This is getting very weird. You glance around for Joni. Adults usually go for her cute act. Maybe she can cute the magician into getting the key. You feel Sid tugging on your sleeve. You turn back around. The magician has vanished. Where did he go? Turn to page 8. Hey, you exclaim. Where did he go? Sid points towards a black curtain at the rear of the shop. You walk up to the curtain and give it a yank. There's nothing behind it but a solid brick wall. Weird. It's time to leave, you tell Sid. He agrees. You quickly find Joni kneeling in front of a huge bookcase. Come on, Joni, we're going, you tell her. But I'm. Now, you command, yanking her to her feet. We need to remove Sid's handcuffs, you say once you're outside. We have some tools back at our clubhouse. Maybe this will help, Joni says. He holds up an old book. The words Magic Book of Spells are written across the gold cover. Joni, you screech. What are you doing with that? I tried to tell you, Joni whines, but you dragged me out of the shop. Besides, I think there's a spell in here for getting out handcuffs. Well, somebody needs to do something, Sid grumbles. These cuffs are getting tighter. What should you do? If you decide to try a spell from the book, Go to page 32. If you decide to go back to the clubhouse and use normal tools, turn to page 47. Okay, so there is something inherently creepy to me about a clubhouse for small boys or like adolescent boys where they keep their tools. Definitely innocent, but it kind of scares me out a little bit. So I think I'm gonna just try and pick a spell from the book. I hope that you guys are on my side with this. So turn to page 32. I'll keep a little finger in here in case we need to go to the clubhouse at some point. So 32. Okay, let's see if we can find a spell that will do the trick. You say, you're willing to try it again. You grab the small gold-covered book from Joni and skim the pages. It must be written in some kind of code, you say. The magician's code, probably. Wait. I've never seen words like this before. I bet I can read it. Joni brags, grabbing the book from you. Let me have it. Fine, smarty pants, you say. Go ahead. Joni studies the book, turning the pages slowly. It must be in a foreign language, she says finally. Yeah, like Transylvanian, said Jokes. Maybe the English translation is at the back of the book. Joni flips to the back pages. I think you're right. This does look like English. You peer at the book over her shoulders. Oh, you're right, you say sarcastically. You snatch the book back from her. If this is English, then what does Ibbing dos Jaget Nobbit Tattoo mean? Unfortunately, you are about to find out. Go to page 40. Loud claps of thunder echo around the mall. The sky grows darker and darker. Huge cracks appear in the floor. You watch in horror as a huge split in the tile moves towards you. Faster, faster. Look out, you shout. You shove the magician book into the waistband of your trousers. You try to outrun the widening gap, but it's no use. You fall into the opening. Your hands reach up for the edge, but the ground is shaking so much you can't get a good hold. You slide down deeper and deeper into the black hole. Your fingers scrape at the dirt along the sides. You try to find something to hold on to, but there's nothing. The dirt crumbles away underneath your fingertips. Help, you shout, but there is no one to help you. You plunge into the earth's darkness, tumbling over and over and over. Plummet to page 60. Wake up, someone is shouting in your ear. You open your eyes. Sid is standing over you. What happened? Where are we? I don't know, Sid answers. Underground somewhere. You rise unsteadily to your feet. You notice Joni sitting on the floor. She looks as if she's just woken up. You glance around. The walls of the room are painted black. A wooden coffin sits on a low table. Behind it is a black velvet curtain. Do you think there's another brick wall behind there, just like at the magic shop? You joke. Only one way to find out, Sid says. You walk up to the curtain, unsure of what may happen next. Before you can part the thick fabric, three men dressed in red tights somersault into the room. God, this is gonna get good. They juggle to the they reach the centre of the room and begin to juggle. Balls fly through the air, faster, faster. Then, to your amazement, the balls turn into balls of fire. Oh my god, this sounds like the best gay club ever. One of the jugglers turns your way and throws a glowing fireball right at you. Oh no, do you know how to juggle? Um, God, you really shouldn't be throwing balls at minors. If you can juggle, turn to page 17. If you can't juggle, turn to page 28. Now, I'm going to be really real here. I really can't juggle. I have insane problems with hand-eye coordination. So if this really fucks me up in Goosebumps, I'm going to be kind of distressed. I'm turning to page 28. You can't juggle. That's okay. Not too many people can. It's really hard. Oh, but this is a story about magic. So now, presto, you can magically juggle. Oh, sick. So, page 17. Look out, you shout. The balls of fire speed towards you. You put your hands in front of your face. You catch a fireball and toss it back. Before you can take another breath, the jugglers toss another fireball at you. Once again, you toss it back. This is the best night ever for this wee kid. Why aren't my hands burning up, you wonder? You notice Sid and Joni gazing at you in awe. The jugglers surround you. Somehow you manage to return every ball they throw at you. Master ball handler, I guess. As you toss flaming balls into the air, the jugglers speak in eerie flat tones. We, says one juggler. No, says the other. Who you are, says the third. What do you mean? Youch! It's hard to talk and juggle at the same time. You drop the fiery ball and poof, all the other balls vanish. You took the magician's book, the first juggler says. The magician wants it back, says the second. Then he'll eat you for dinner, says the third. Turn to page 64. I wish I could differentiate the voices, but 64 it is. Before we end up on the dinner menu, Sid interrupts the jugglers. Can you take off these cuffs? The first juggler somersaults to Sid. He jiggles with the cuffs. They clatter to the floor. How did you do that, you ask? When you and Sid try to unlock the handcuffs, it seems impossible. It's a trick, the juggler answers. Everything here is a trick. Suddenly all three jugglers freeze. The magician, they cry together. He's coming. All three disappear in a puff of smoke. Turn to page 34. Okay, 34. The magician will be here any minute. Those jugglers made it sound like we're goners, Sid whispers to you. Even if we give him back his book, Joni adds glumly. You've got to act fast. But you can't escape because you don't know where you are. There doesn't seem to be a normal door in this black room. Your only hope is to hide the book. Then the magician will need you alive if he wants the book back. You've got to hide it, you tell Sid and Joni. I'm going to put it in the coffin. No, Sid says, that'll be too easy to find. Let's look around. You search the room for a hiding place. There isn't much choice. A wide shelf runs along the wall. On it sits a large fish bowl with 3 exotic fish and an old-fashioned metal birdcage with a yellow canary. If you still think the coffin is the best place to hide the book, go to page 101. If you hide the book in the fish bowl, turn to page 22. If you put the book in the birdcage, turn to page 132. Okay, so I think I'm going to want some guidance because inherently I would think that if you dump the magician's magical book in a fish bowl with live fish in it, he will be really pissed. The fish could get hurt, the book will get wet. Worst idea. Coffin, that's okay. Birdcage, are they not usually completely see-through on all sides? I don't understand how that would be good at hiding a book. Ruth says coffin. I say coffin too. It's the most goth as well. I'm into that. So coffin is the best place to hide the book. Go to page 101. We'll do that. You decide the coffin is the best place to hide the book. You run over to it and try to lift the lid. It won't budge. Help me, you yell to Joni and Sid. Maybe together we can prise it open. Joni and Sid rush over to the coffin. Grunting and groaning, the three of you tug on the heavy lid. It gives a centimetre, then 2 centimetres, enough to slip the book inside. Then the lid snaps shut, almost taking your fingers with it. Just in time, a sound behind you makes you whirl around. You see a black cat topple off the shelf across the room. A black crow flies out of it. It circles the room, then lands on the coffin. You watch stunned as the crow turns into the magician. You 3 meddling children have taken something of mine, and I'm here to get it back. The magician's voice echoes throughout the room. He takes a step towards you. Which one of you has my book? He demands. We lost it, you say quickly. Don't you dare lie to me. The whole room seems to shake with the sound of his voice. Lies make me very angry. You don't want to see me when I'm angry. The magician warns. I'm getting a lot of energy from this book. I don't know. The magician points at you. Sparks fly from his fingers. What is he doing to you? Don't touch this kid, magician. So turn to page 66. You glance down and see that your feet are no longer touching the floor. You float higher and higher. The magician snaps his fingers. You are turned upside down, suspended in midair. Then you start shaking like a salt cellar. Jesus. Start shaking like a salt cellar. Everything from your trouser pockets falls to the ground. When the magician is satisfied you don't have the book, he does the same to Sid and Joni. Gum wrappers, biros, rubber bands, even a sandwich falls to the floor. You must have hidden the book, the magician realizes. Thud, you, Sid and Joni drop to the floor. Hey, Joni complains, that hurt. She rubs her backside. That was nothing, the magician growls. You have a terrible feeling he is telling you the truth. The magician claps his hand, and a tiny hourglass is suddenly hanging from a rope around your neck. The sand will run out in exactly 1 hour, he explains. If you fail to return my book, in perfect condition, you will join the rest of my collection. What collection? You ask. Out of nowhere, a gust of wind blows aside the velvet curtain behind the coffin. What you see there makes all three of you scream in terror. What is behind the curtain? Find out on page 113. Here we go. Place your bets. 113. Okay. You were right. Behind the curtain is a brick wall, but something else too. A wooden cabinet with rows of glass shelves, and on the shelves are heads. Human heads. You, Sid and Joni, stand frozen in fear. You can't tear your eyes away from the horrible sight. 12 shrunken human heads stare back at you. You monster, you shout. You force yourself to face the evil magician, but he appears through the brick wall again. Disappears. God. He disappears through the brick wall. You have to think of something. You don't want to have your head shrunk. You don't even want to see Joni getting her annoying head shrunk. Now what? Sid asks. Let's give the book back, Joni says. I don't think we should, Sid argues. He might not let us go after we give him what he wants. That book is our only assurance that he won't hurt us, for an hour at least. He adds, glancing at the hourglass. But if we don't give him the book, he'll take our heads for sure, Joni counters. They turn to you for a decision. If you think you should give the book back to the magician, turn to page 88. If you think you'd have better luck by hanging on to the book and finding a way to escape, turn to page 36. Okay, so what do we think? What have we learned in our lives? Do we return the book that we stole, which is what I've been taught, but I do not think is the correct thing to do in this scenario? Or do we hold on to the book and hopefully find some magical solution? I am going to throw it out there that I think 36 is the right shout. I'll wait and see if the chat catches up and can tell me anything further. And yes, Ruth, there is a Goosebumps book called How I Got My Shrunken Head. And it starts off a kid playing the video about like a forest. And then he gets sucked into a video game, I think. I can't remember. Okay. So Ruth wants to return, but my who taught me the right from right and wrong about returning things that you stole and such has told me to hold on to the book, and so has Ben. So I think I'm going to hold on to the book and I'm going to go to page 36. Yeah, okay. You don't think the magician will let you go once you give him the book? In fact, I should really get a bookmark for that one. Sorry, that was too important to miss out on. You don't think the magician will let you go once you give him the book? Your best bet is to escape now. But how? If the magician got out, you say, so can we. But he's magic, Joni counters, and he knows his way around. He probably built this creepy room. Fine, you tell her. Don't help. Your pointy little head will look great on that shelf. So bitter. Joni stamps her feet. The hollow sound echoes in the small room. Stop picking on me, she whines. You and Sid roll your eyes. Come on, Sid, you say. Maybe find some sort of trap door. You begin tapping on the brick wall for a hidden door. Joni stomps over to the corner. She sits there and pouts. You ignore her and wave at the coffin. This stuff had to be brought in here somehow, you tell Sid. You have a nagging feeling that you had the solution a minute ago, but it slipped away. Joni's singing TV jingles. She is so annoying. Joni, cut it out, you yell. We're trying to. Then something occurs to you. Strange as it seems, you think the answer is something Joni said or did. Is the clue in something Joni said? Find out on page 46. Or is the clue in something Joni did? Turn to page 108. Oh, God. I really should have been paying more attention to that wee girl, shouldn't I? This is the moral. This is the moral he's trying to teach us. Does anyone remember if Joni said anything important or if she did anything important? Oh, Christ. What have we even done since we got put here? We just taken about shrunken heads. Uh, okay. I don't know if someone's gonna get back to me quick enough, so I'm gonna go for it's probably and something she said. Ruth says it's something she did. Balls. Okay, I'm gonna go with Ruth. I'm gonna and something she did, and I'm gonna turn to page 108 because she hasn't said anything worthwhile. You are correct. Okay. You're positive something Joni did was the clue to your escape, but what was it? You retrace her steps. Sid follows behind you. When you come to an abrupt stop, Sid bangs into you. I've got it. You cramping up and down. What? Sid demands. What have you got? Joni, you're fantastic. You swoop over to her and plant a big kiss on her head. She stares up at you. Well, what did I do? She stammers. When Joni threw her fit, she stamped in her foot. You explain. It made a hollow sound. That means there's a trap door underneath the spot. Okay. I mean, I kind of did maybe think that her stamping her feet would do something, so this is a win. The three of you quickly roll back the rug. Oh, okay, if I'd known there was a rug on the floor the whole time, I would have definitely looked under the rug. I worked in an escape room, we had shit under rugs all the time. Anyway, okay, you roll the rug back. There is a shiny metal latch in the floor, your key to freedom. The trap door opens with a creak and a groan. You can see the top of a set of stairs. A damp, musty smelling air rises up. Come on, you say, the way down the stairs. I can't see anything, Joni complains behind you. Shush, you whisper. We don't know what we'll find down here. That's when you hear it, a blood-curdling scream. Go to page 81 if you dare. Okay, I dare. Let's go. Chills run down your spine. That scream sounded as if someone were being tortured. The three of you stand perfectly still. Another loud, horrible howl screeches from somewhere above you, then silence. You don't like what you hear next. Footsteps, and they're coming your way. Should we go back? Joni squeaks. Had, but you have no time to decide. A door opens at the other end of the steps. A face appears in the doorway, a terrifying face. A face with slits where eyes, nose, and a mouth should be. Long black stringy hair sticks out around the face and hangs down onto the creature's. You back up into Joni, who stumbles into Sid. Ouch. Get off. You hear behind you. No chance of escape that way. Your hand reaches out and grabs the front. A large hand reaches out and grabs the front of your shirt. Help! You cry. Hurry! Turn to page 44. God, this is not going well. You're pulled through the doorway and into glaring white lights. Oh my God! Is this another? I don't. Okay, whatever. Joni and Sid tumble out after you. You gaze up at the creature. You start laughing when you realise the face that you were so scared of was only a gorilla mask. The man takes off the mask and winks at you. He's short and bald. Had you going for a second, didn't I, partner? He says he sounds like your cousin from Texas. The man drops the gorilla mask on the floor and picks up a giant cowboy hat. That's when you notice he's dressed head to toe in cowboy outfit, jeans, boots, and spurs. He helps Joni to her feet, then shakes Sid's hand. You're just in time, partner. Yeah, okay, let's do it. He tells Sid. In time for what? Sid asks. In time for some real fun. The cowboy answers. You glance around. You're on stage that has been decorated to look like a western ranch. Bales of hair stacked around a fake barn door. A large wooden wheel painted red, white, and blue stands in the centre of the stage. What kind of place is this, you wonder? Then you feel something cold and your back. A knife. Oh my God. Okay, go to page 86. Maybe I'm just gonna get knifed. I didn't think that's how they did it in Texas. You peer over your shoulder at the cowboy. Stand aside, kid. The cowboy says, flashing the knife blade at you. You're in my light. I can't do America. You don't need to be told twice. Sorry, you mumble. You take a few steps back. The cowboy strides to centre stage and positions himself in front of the wheel. He throws the knife into the air and catches it behind his back. Then he throws it up, catches it with his eyes shut. Joni nods. Ma, what a cute little girl. the cowboy says to Joni. Would you like to see another trick? Sure, Joni says. Sid nods. You don't think you ever want to see another trick in your life? Take your seats, take your seats, the cowboy commands, waving Sid and Joni towards folding chairs at the side of the stage. Then he turns to you. You have a terrible feeling that you've been chosen to be part of the cowboy's act. Right you are. The next thing you know, the cowboy is strapping you to the wooden wheel. You be real still, the cowboy instructs. No. Now what, you wonder? Jesus. Yeah, I saw wheel and I kind of thought this might happen. Turn to page 128. You watch the cowboy pick up four deadly looking knives. Now you know you don't like this. Excuse me, you begin. You're so frightened you have trouble getting the words out. The cowboy doesn't hear you. The cowboy does, he just doesn't want to. He takes three knives in his left hand. The other knife he aims directly at your head. Thwang! The knife thuds into the wood next to your left ear. That was close. Thwang! A second knife cuts into the wood next to your right ear. That's getting closer. Hey, wait a minute! Your voice comes out as a squeak. Thwang! A third knife thuds right above your head. And now for the grand finale, the cowboy announces. Oh shit. I will spin the wheel. He rushes towards you. Let me off this thing, you shout. But the cowboy ignores your protest. He smiles at you, grasps the side of the wheel, and gives it a sharp yank. Round and round you turn. The cowboy takes an aim with the last knife. No, you wail. You can't look. You shut your eyes. Hold your breath until you get to page 35. You open your eyes and sneak another look at the cowboy. It's hard to see his face as you spin round and round. He seems to be concentrating very hard. Is this trick safe? Joni asks, her voice trembling. She sounds scared. It's kind of nice to know about you. I'll tell you a secret, young lady, the cowboy assures her. It's trick knife, completely harmless. No, Sid says. He and Joni lean forward in their seats. Maybe the cowboy does know what he's doing, you think. You've seen this act in circuses before. You shut your eyes just before the cowboy throws the knife. Whoops, wrong knife, are the last words you ever hear. The end. I really, really didn't think that you would be able to get an ending where you just got knifed, but I don't know what I was thinking, I guess. Hmm. Okay. So that's a weird one. Now I'm starting to think, where do I go from here? What was the last couple of choices? Um, I can always try and give the magician back on page 78. That was an option. Or I can try and hide somewhere else. So what do we think? Do we think a new hiding place or do we think a new strategy altogether? I really can't believe I got knifed to death. That was brutal in front of a pure bunch of Waynes. It was pretty baller though. Um, yeah, I guess I'll wait and see if I can get a consensus, or else I'm maybe leaning towards hiding the book somewhere else. But I don't know if that does give you loads of different things, or if it'll just end it fast each time. Okay, I'm not getting a very fast consensus, I guess. So okay, you know what? I'm gonna hide the book in the fishbowl this time. So everyone cast your mind back. Before hiding the book in the coffin, where could we hide it? Do we hide it in the fishbowl with tropical fish or hide bird cage? I'm gonna hide it in the fishbowl on page 22. Maybe the fishbowl would be a good place to hide the magic book, you say. You walk over at the shelf and peer at the fishbowl. The fish stare back. No way, Johnny says. That will be really, really obvious, and the fish might get mad, Sid adds. I just don't think it's going to happen. You tell them. You've noticed the fish aren't real. They're painting to the inside of the bowl. You reach into it and do a double take. You can't believe what you see. Your hand becomes invisible completely in the fishbowl. It completely disappears. You test it again, pull your hand out of the bowl, take off the water, then stack in. It disappears again. This is so cool. Hey, Tony, you shout, check this out. Johnny glances your way. You watch her eyes travel down your arm to notice the fishbowl. Her mouth drops when she notices your hand appear and disappear. Then you lift your arm out of the water. Johnny's eyes grow wide with terror. You glance down at the end of your arm where your hand should be. My hand, you guess? Where is my hand? Okay, I forgot. Like, this is pretty good. It's gone from 100 to 100. Turn to page 106. A look of horror comes over Joni's face as she stares where your hand should be. Her eyes well up in tears. If this is her reaction to you losing a hand, I cannot imagine how she would have reacted to seeing you get knifed on a wheel of death. But here it is, you exclaim. You poke your hand out of your sweater. Gotcha! You double over laughing. You have a really sick sense of humour, Joni mutters. She sticks her tongue out and stomps away. Hey, now we know the book won't be seen if we put it in the fishbowl, you tell Sid. Either the fishbowl or the water makes things invisible. You better put the book in, something to keep it getting wet. But what? Sid reaches into his pocket and pulls out a plastic bag. It has half of a peanut butter sandwich in it. He removes the sandwich and stuffs the whole thing in his mouth. Here you go, he mumbles with his mouth. Just remember, we were told that he's chubby. He's the chubby one, so of course he's gonna eat. The doggy bag from Sid and slip the book inside. Then you drop the bag into the fishbowl. Donnie comes up beside you. She picks up a short black stick on the shelf and taps it against the fishbowl. What do you think it is? She asks. How should I know? You snap. Maybe it's the magician's magic wand. Stop playing with it. Joni sticks the wand into the bowl and stirs. Oh no, maybe she shouldn't have done that. Turn to page 100. Okay. Ugh. Jesus Christ. Tony pulls the magic wand out of the fishbowl. You wait for something terrible to happen. Nothing. It's a great it's great the way the wand disappears when I stick it in the fishbowl, Joni declares. She stirs the water again. I can feel the magic book when I stir. I can't see it, she adds, pulling the wet wand out of the water. She puts the wand into the bowl a third time. She stirs so hard the water splashes over the rim. Joni, we have to. You never get a chance to finish what you were going to say. You hear a bubbling coming from the fishbowl, then gurgling, then whoosh! Water gushes out of the fishbowl. You glance at Sid. He stares at the rushing water. Joni shrieks and drops the wand. Water pours on the floor, quickly rising. The painted fish come to life and start swimming in the knee-deep water. Now you recognise what kind they are. Man-eating piranhas. Piranhas aren't choosy. They don't mind being kid-eating piranhas. This is definitely the end. Oh my god. You guys, I have no luck. I think, yeah, okay. My last, well, not last. I'm just gonna go back and I'm gonna try the birdcage. And you know what? If they all lead to failures, then it was clearly a moral decision that we had to give the book back that I missed out on. But whatever. Cast your mind back. We are now gonna hide the magic book inside the birdcage on page 132. Man, drowning as well is a bit like it's a bit much, isn't it? The birdcage, you decide, is a great move. Good idea. Sid grabs the book and races across the room. That was actually just my endorsement for the film, but it is a great movie. He sticks his finger into the birdcage. Don't be scared, little bird, he croons. I'm going to open up your cage and put something inside. Hurry up, you urge. The magician could be here any minute. And don't forget to put the book under the paper lining in the cage. You add, we don't want the bird to do all over the book. Stupid. Of course I was going to cover the book, Sid snaps, and don't call me stupid. I didn't, but if you didn't, who did? You idiot. Okay, you cry. Which one of you dummies calls me an idiot? Dummies? It's the bird talking, Sid exclaims. You and Johnny rush over to the bird cage. Say something else, birdie, Johnny coaxes. Sid opens the cage and slips his hand in. That's when you hear a new voice. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Turn to page 19. Okay. Okay. Said Joni, you whisper. If none of us said that, and the bird didn't say that, who said that? The magician, Joni squeaks. The three of you turn slowly and scan the room. A man steps out of the shadows. It's not the magician, but you don't feel any better. This is the biggest, grossest looking guy I've ever seen. His massive body towers over you. Your eyes travel up, up, up to the man's face. His skin is the colour of your face when you're about to be sick. Burn. Joe runs out of the corner of his mouth. You can smell his foul breath from across the room. He is one creepy dude, and he doesn't look happy. We're in big trouble, you think? The giant's voice booms. Give me back my birthday. Turn to page 65. Okay, 65. This guy does not seem dissimilar to the sort of clientele that you would find at some rock bars. Just saying. The giant hand reaches out for the bird in Sid's hand. The man's hand is as big as his head. Is my little birdie okay? The giant makes kissing sounds at the bird. I'm a vanilla guest, he explains. I was practicing throwing my voice. A vanilla guest? That's what it says. I don't know. You mean you're a ventriloquist, Joni corrects the man. Oh, okay. Yep. Good move, Joni, you think. Get the giant mad. The huge man peers down at Joni. Uh-oh, you think. Here it comes. You're cute, he tells Joni. Ew. I know, she replies. They smile at each other. You don't believe it. Joni's cute act is really working on this gross man. Can you show us how to get out of here? Joni asks, flashing her dimples. Come with me, the giant says, taking Joni's hand. Joni, wait, you call. You're not sure you can trust this guy? What, do you just want to sit here and wait for the magician? Joni asks. She's got a point, Sida answers. What do you think? Should you go with the ugly giant? If so, turn to page 110. If you think it would be better to wait, turn to page 67. Mm. Okay, I've already decided in my head that I'm gonna go with the ugly giant, but I want some confirmation from you guys. What do you think? Because I don't want to be stuck in this room any longer because I can just keep dying here. Okay, go with the ugly giant, page 110. Because you need to make sure he doesn't beast your waster, obviously. Okay, you tell the others. Let's get out of here. The giant opens a trapdoor in the floor. Oh, sounds familiar. He pulls Joni through it, follows closely behind. You peer into the dark hole in the floor. A damp smell makes your nose crinkle. You see the crooked steps leading down. You hope this wasn't a mistake. You climb down the steps. You find yourself in a dark tunnel. Mold and cobwebs cling to the rough walls. The others are far ahead of you. You have to follow the sounds of their voices. You finally come to an open doorway. You glance inside and are met with a weird sight. Sid is sitting on the giant's knee. There's another kid sitting on the giant's other knee. The ugliest kid you've seen. But you can't see Joni anywhere. What is going on? Rush into the room on page 5. Okay. Maybe we've got a Banjo Kazooie sort of thing where he takes the sister's beauty and gives it to himself. I don't know. Where's my sister? You demand, racing into the room. The giant smiles his creepy smile at you. You're just in time for the show. Jesus Christ. He says, that's when you notice the kid next to Sid isn't a real kid. It's a ventriloquist dummy, a really ugly dummy. Where's Joni, you ask? Of course, knowing Joni, she could have wandered off by herself. The dummy's red eyes open. I'm Freaky Freddy, dummy says. Children don't like me. They think I'm scary to look at. Sid, come on, you say. We have to find Joni. But Sid just stares blankly ahead, as if he were made of wood. Oh no. I need cuter dummies for my act, the giant explained. Then people will like me. No, you think it can't be. You notice a large cabinet. You rush towards it and yank it open. Joni, you shriek. She gazes at you silently. She's a dummy. And crumpled beside her is another dummy. You pick it up and gasp in horror. The dummy has your face. Now you know how this'll end. The end. Jesus Christ, man, that was pretty brutal. Your sister gets turned into a dummy. You get turned into a dummy. You have to rush over and see it in a display case. This is awful. Okay, well, that's the whole hide the book thing shot, isn't it? I guess you just shouldn't hide the book. I guess on from that one page. So should we? I'm gonna give another option now. Should we give the book back to the magician on page 78, or should we go back to the clubhouse and try and find tools to Ted's handcuffs? Okay, so we have some persistence from Ruth telling me to do the honest thing and give him back the book. You should give the magician back the book. Okay, I'll turn to page 78 and I'm going to give the magician back the book. I think we'd better give the magician what he wants. You tell them. Joni and Sid nod. You sigh and walk over to the coffin. But when you lid, you discover the book has disappeared. It's gone, you shout. Joni and Sid rush over to the coffin. They peer inside. Maybe there's a secret compartment, suggests. You hear footsteps. They sound as coming closer and closer. Do you think it's the magician? Joni whispers. I don't know. I really don't want to find out. You tell her. Let's hide in the coffin. Turn to page 103. Okay, here we go. Another avenue to go through. You, Joni, and Sid climb over the empty coffin. The lid clicks shut above you. The three of you are squashed together. Watch your elbow, Joni snaps. Hey, that was my eye, Sid complains. You get a mouthful of Joni's hair. You're starting to sweat. You feel as if you're going to suffocate. You have to get some air. You place your feet on one side of the coffin and push. You try to create some space between you, Joni, and Sid. Your shoulders press against the opposite side of the coffin, and you hear a loud click. What was that? Swoosh. The bottom of the coffin pops open, and you are suddenly sliding down a metal chute, faster and faster, tumbling over and over. The chute comes to a sudden end. You crash land on the hard floor. Joni and Sid hit the floor next to you. Look for the magic book, you say, jumping up. Joni spots the magic book lying on the floor by a tall wooden cabinet. Just as she reaches it, a man steps out from behind the cabinet. His foot lands squarely on the book. Turn to page 112. Okay. The man is tall and dressed in a sequined white suit, very stylish. He wears a blue mask that covers half his face. You can tell he has no idea he's standing on the magic book, and you want to keep it that way. Welcome, 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 the masked man says. Are you my new assistants? Why, yes, we are, you say. Oh, no, man. You glance at Joni. She gives you a little nod. Then you wink at Sid. He winks back. He's understood your plan immediately. What plan is this? I would love to know. You approach the masked man and shake his hand, pulling him off the book. Nice to meet you, you say, walking him towards Sid. You glance back at Joni, grab the magic book and slip it into her rucksack. Oh, good, the masked man replies. I never seem to keep assistants. Now come along. The masked man leads you to a low table. You don't like what you see. On it, oh God, on it is a long gleaming sword and a very sharp saw. A long box lies on the table nearby. Which trick would you like to do? The masked man asks. A cabinet of swords, or would you rather be sawed in half? You don't like these options, but he's waiting. Choose. Okay, well, you heard the man. Are we going to be sawed in half on page 49? Are we going to try our luck in the cabinet on page 55? Something about the Cabinet of Swords. I have seen Breaking the Magician's Code numerous times, so I know how to do both of tricks flawlessly. And I don't know, something draws me to the Cabinet of Swords, but Ruth says, cut it. And then she says it's literally on the front cover, which I honestly cannot argue with. So I'm gonna go do that. Put a bookmark because I feel like I'm gonna die real soon. Get sawn in half. Turn to page 49. This also says 55, but 49 is sawn in half. Let's try it. I'll do the sawn in half, you say. At least we've seen this trick before. Who knows what a cabinet of swords is? Me? I've seen the TV show. Excellent, the masked man claps his hands. The table with the long box on it rolls towards you. Taking your hand, the masked man helps you in the box. You lie down in the hard wood box. Your head sticks out one end. So what do I do, you ask? You gaze up nervously at the masked man. He looks awfully nervous. Leave it all to me, he tells you. He ties a blindfold over your eyes and puts the lid on the box. If I can just remember what I'm supposed to do, you hear the masked man mutter. I quite like the fact that he's not vindictive. He's just kind of dumb. Okay. Sorry. Okay. If I can just remember what I'm supposed to do. You don't like the sound of that. Hey, you shout. You pound on the lid. I've changed my mind. I want to do the other trick. No one answers. You listen hard, trying to figure what's going on. Then you hear the sharp teeth of a large saw slicing through the lid of the box. Turn to page 135. Okay. Harder on the box. Help, you shout. Get me out of here. The teeth saw and slice back and forth, centimetres from your stomach. You can't take it anymore. You pass out. When you open your eyes, you're still in the box. Your blindfold is off. You touch your stomach, still in one piece. There isn't any blood or pain, just an odd tickling sensation. I suppose it really was just a trick, you tell yourself. You can hear applause. That was a great trick, you hear Johnny say. Really cool, Sid's voice. Comes Sid's voice. The lift is lit. The lid is lifted. The masked man peers down at you. All right in there, he asks. You bet. You climb out of the box and immediately fall over. What's wrong? Find out on page 21. I wonder what's wrong. What's wrong with me, you ask? You try to stand up, but your muscles don't seem to work. You hear a gasp. Sid and Joni rush towards you. The masked man holds out his hand and helps you to your feet. You glance down. Your mouth drops in horror. Your feet are on backwards. You turn to the masked man. What did you do to me, you demand? The trick was going so well, he explains. I sawed you in half without a problem. But then he shrugs his shoulders. Sid and Joni crowd round you. You have to fix this, Sid shouts. Joni gazes at your backward bottom half in awe. I can try, the masked man says. He picks up the saw. No way, you yell. Who knows what kind of mistake you'll make this time? Well, Joni says, Mum always complains you don't know if you're coming or you're going. Now you have an excuse. Okay. Well, we can see here this was going to happen. Now it's time for the Cabinet of Swords, page 55. I've had so many deaths so far. Like there are 20 endings, and I feel like I've not been at this for as long to have as many endings. I don't know. You hope the Cabinet of Swords won't be as deadly as it sounds. Let's get to work, the masked man commands. He claps his hands. Now you stand. He yanks Sid to one side of the wooden cabinet, and you stand right there. He instructs Joni, pulling her to the other side of the cabinet. Then he passes a hand over her face and mutters a few strange words. Her expression goes completely blank. He does the same to Sid. Sid stares in his face, unmoving, unblinking. Well, what did you do to them? You stammer. It's for the trick, this man informs you. They're under my spell, of course. Of course. What kind of trick is this, you ask? You'll see right now, the masked man waves his hands over his head. Sid and Joni open the doors of the tall cabinet. Inside you see the blades of 10 swords running from one side of the cabinet to the other. Somehow you don't think you're going to like being this man's assistant. Turn to page 124. Okay, here we go. You watch as Joni and Sid silently pull a sword from the cabinet. They place them on the low table with the other gleaming sword. When all 10 swords have been removed, the masked man waves his hands again. He pronounces some more strange sounding words. Sid and Joni push you into the cabinet and you hear a lock snap shut. Silence and darkness surround you. This is worse than being squished in the coffin. At least there you had Sid and Joni for company. And you weren't waiting to find out what those swords were used for. You don't have to wait long. Something hard and cold slides in front of your ankles. You peek down. Yikes, it's the long blade of a sword, and there are 10 more to go. Oh no, go to page 30. Okay, it's a trick, you tell yourself, but how does it work? A second sword pierces the cabinet. Without thinking, you lift your foot and step on the sword as it slices through to the other side. Somehow it manages to hold your weight. That's it, you realise. I have to step on each sword as it comes through the cabinet wall. It's difficult, but you manage to keep your balance as you climb on top of each sword that slides into the cabinet. By the time the final sword is pushed through, you're crouching in a tiny space at the top. Now what, you wonder? Then all the swords are slowly pulled out again. As each sword slides out, you place a foot on the sword below it. Finally, you are standing again in the bottom of the cabinet. The door flings open. Excellent, the masked man congratulates you. Such good work should be rewarded. What is it that you want? We want to get out of here, you tell the masked man. How do we escape this crazy place? The masked man gazes at you sadly. I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. Turn to page 50. The masked man seems like quite a sympathetic character. I kind of dig him. I can't tell you, the masked man continues, but I know two people who can. He snaps his fingers, and Joni and Sid awaken from their trance. They glance around dazed. What happened? Sid asks. The masked man is going to tell us how to get out of here, you explain. Good, Joni says, because the sand in that hourglass has almost ran out. You hold up the tiny hourglass. It's still on the rope around your neck. You had almost forgotten about it. I'd totally forgotten about it, like 4 deaths ago or whatever. The, but Joni is right. There is very little sand left. You're down to minutes now. Who can tell us the way out? You ask the masked man. You can ask Mr. Knowledge. He tells you. He knows everything. He answers all questions. The masked man picks up a piece of rope and throws it in the air. The rope stiffens and rises up to the ceiling. It disappears into the darkness. Mr. Knowledge is performing up there. He waves at the rope. Or you can ask Ms. Card Sharp. She knows the way out, but she's playing cards right now. To meet Mr. Knowledge, climb to the top of the rope. Or if you want to meet Ms. Card Sharp, go to page 82. Okay, so what do we think? I am thinking Miss Card Sharp, I don't know, seems sketchy, and Mr. Knowledge maybe seems nice. But then again, climbing a rope to get anywhere seems like just so much hassle. I could wait and see if anyone will help because I would like some input before I mess up and die again. Okay. Ruth has the same sentiment. Do we have to call Mr. Knowledge? Okay. You only live twice. I can live up to 20 times because there are 20 endings in this book, I guess. But we will go to see Mr. Knowledge on page 97. Let's hope he's sound. You decide to ask Mr. Knowledge, but you have to climb the rope first. You want me to climb up that rope? Sid asks. No way. I'm the one who gets last in gym for every team. Come on, you say, at least give it a try. Joni and I will help you. I'll give you a boost up on my shoulders. It's easy, Joni assures Sid. She scrambles up the rope and disappears into darkness. This doesn't seem to make Sid feel any better. You kneel down and let Sid stand on your shoulders. Slowly, slowly you stand up. Your knees wobble. No more Super Sundays for you, Sid. You gasp. You weigh a ton. Stop shaming the poor boy, jeez. That's right, Sid says. Tease me about my weight. Oh, forget it, you say. Just come. Sid manages to put one hand over the other and climb. As soon as he lifts off your shoulders, you scurry up behind him. You can do it, Sid, you encourage him. But can he? Turn to page 43. I swear to God, if it ends with you just getting crushed under his weight, I'm going to be so disappointed. As you near the top, you check the sand in the hourglass. Not much time left. You give Sid one last shove. He falls forward over the edge of the opening in the ceiling. You pull yourself up and over, flopping onto the floor beside him. No time to rest. You tell the others, the sand has almost run out. We've got to find Mr. Knowledge. As soon as you say Mr. Knowledge, lights flash on. And R.L. Stine really does love this whole lights flash on you in a theatre trope, doesn't he? You're standing in the back of a theatre. A drumroll announces that the performance is about to begin. You, Sid, and Joni quickly find empty seats. A man in a dark brown suit walks on stage. He pulls on his thin moustache and peers at the audience. Ask me any question, he says. I know all the answers. I am Mr. Knowledge. What's a henway? Someone shouts from the audience. Do you know? Yes. 26. No, page 38. Henway, Henway, Hotel Echo November, WAY. I do not know what a henway is. I've never heard of a henway. I don't know if this is an American thing or if I'm an idiot. So I'm gonna have to say no, I don't know what it is on page 38. I've really been letting the side down on my abilities for this book. Hopefully it'll tell me. What's a henway? No idea. Mr. Knowledge must be very smart. Yeah, I get this. A hen weighs £6. Mr. Knowledge say, you grown, that old joke. You get to Carnegie Hall, someone from the audience calls, practice, practice, practice. Mr. Knowledge answers, why did the chicken cross the road? Someone shouts, why do firemen wear red bracelets? Another one calls. You turn to Joni and said, the old stupid jokes you say. I don't think Mr. Knowledge will be any help to us. Agreed, Sid says. Let's check out Miss Cardsharp. You, Joni, and Sid find a side door and sneak out of the auditorium. The door opens into a small room with only furniture. The only furniture is a round table with 5 empty chairs placed around it. A woman with frizzy blonde hair stands in front of the table shuffling cards. I'm Miss Cardsharp. She greets you. We've been waiting for you. Time to meet your fellow players. Okay, so it says turn to page 56. But before I do that, I'm going to see what happens if you do know what a hen weighs. See if it really ultimately changes the course of the game. It totally does. If you know, then you have to take another route. It's not just like a weird dead end. But anyway, we're Miss Card Sharp's bitches now on page 56. Meet Mr. Lucky Luck, Ms. Cardsharp announces. A short man with bright red hair enters the room. He sits down at the table. He is wearing a shirt covered with 4-leaf clovers. Rabbit's feet hang from his belt. There's a horseshoe around his neck. Meet Ms. Nine Lives, Ms. Cardsharp shouts. Meow. A tall woman. She is dressed like a black cat. 2 ears stick up on either side of her head. Meet Mr. Rambler Gambler. A tall man in a sparkling gold suit walks into the room and takes his seat. Diamonds sparkle on his fingers. Oh, that's our little group, Miss Cardsharp says. Take a seat and let the games begin. With that, all the other players sit down at the table. You glance over at Sid and Joni. They give each other a thumbs up sign. That makes you feel a little better. You pull out a chair and sit down. What shall we play? Mr. Lucky Luck asks. How about Kaboobie? I'm lucky at Kaboobie. Uh-oh, you have never heard of Kaboobie. What if they only play games that you don't know? Turn to page 45. God damn. Why don't we play draw? You managed to say. You usually do well at draw. It's safer than trying to play a game that you don't know. Everyone seems to like the idea. Miss Cardsharp does some fancy shuffling. Then she takes it on she placed then she takes a card from the middle of the pack, places it on the table in front of her, and passes the pack to her left. The pack of cards is passed around the table. Each person takes a card and puts it face down on the table. You can try this at home, but not really. Then the pack of cards reaches you. With a trembling hand, you pull a card from the pack. You take a deep breath and cross your fingers for luck. What card did you draw? Oh my god, are you serious? Find a pack of playing cards, shuffle them, and then without looking, draw one card, put the card face down in front of you, then take a deep breath. Okay, so what we're gonna do, bear with me, is I'm gonna get like a card shuffle app on the go, and I can show it to you guys. I hope that there is such a thing. I thought it would just be like dice roll or something. Um, Pick a card online. Oh god, these are all tarot cards. Jesus. Someone might have to do this for me. Or I might need to go in my room and find my Doctor Who playing cards. Okay. Oh, well, you won't be able to see this anyway. Um, Pick a card from the deck, draw a card. Here is your card shown from a total of 52, and it's the Four of Spades. I mean, I don't know if that's visible enough. There we go. Well, let's see how that goes. 74. Butterflies dance in your stomach as everyone at the table turns over their cards. Miss Cardsharp turns over the 10 of clubs, Miss Nine Lives the Jack of hearts, Mr. Gambler Rambler turns over King of spades, Mr. Lucky Luck turns over the 5 of clubs. Your card is still face down on the table. You have to turn it over. Only an ace can beat the king. If you win, Cardsharp will have to tell you the way out. If you lose, you'll have to do whatever the winner says. Turn over your card. Is it an ace? Did you beat the king of spades? Of course I didn't. How would I? Okay, I lost. Turn to page 63. I have been such a letdown in this game. Like, it's like I can do nothing right. You lost. Your card doesn't beat the king of spades. It's only a card game, you say, rising from the table. We'll find our way out on our own. Not so fast, Mr. Rambler Gambler says sharply. You have to do what I tell you. That's the rules. That's why we allowed you into the game. You sit down. You won't go back on a promise. You're going to regret that, wee man. Mr. Rambler Gambler leaves the room. When he comes back, he's got a rhinestone suit, a paper bag. This is my favourite suit, Mr. Rambler Gambler tells you. Each and every one of these rhinestones needs to be polished. But don't worry, your pals can help you. He empties the paper bag on the floor, 3 baby-sized toothbrushes and a bottle of pink liquid roll out. I suggest you get started, Mr. Rambler Gambler says, handing you the suit. You gaze down at the suit in your hand. There must be 4,000 rhinestones sewn onto it. The grains of sand in the hourglass are going to run out far before you finish cleaning the suit. You start cleaning, you almost the magician would up and find you. At least that way you'll come to a least boring end. Okay, so the route I picked was virtually impossible because I'd never heard that joke before, and the odds of me pulling that right card were just so small. And now it's another ending where I get stuck polishing things. Exactly, Michael. And this is just such a bad ending, and I don't really know where to go back to. Did I just say that I won? Did I lie that way? Or say that I knew what a hen weighed this whole time and lie that way? Okay. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna say that we won. I'm Hold your card. I'll say that we won. Again. That was a 9. Oh, third try. That's an ace. Third one's the charm. Okay. That still counts, right? But Ruth does really want me to go back to Mr. Knowledge. Maybe I can do both. I feel like the card endings might both be pretty bad. If you win, go to page 104. Yeah, this is it. You can't stall anymore. Everyone is waiting for you to card over. You flip the card with your eyes closed. You hear loud taps at the table. You hear Joni shout, "You did it, Sid Cheers. You did it." Your eyes open wide. You look down at the card in front of you. It's an ace. You won. Yes, you cry. You jump up from your seat. Joni and Sid throw their arms around you. The three of you jump up and down. I did it. I did it. At the table is moving. Big deal, Ms. Cardsharp says flatly. We're playing 500 card draw. You have to do it 499 more times. The end. Oh my god, how many deaths have I gotten? Like, there can't be that many more deaths statistically left in the book. Okay, we're gonna go and meet Mr. Knowledge. We're gonna pretend that we knew what a hen weighed the whole time. I guess we know now, so it's not really cheating. Sorry, I'm just retracing my steps to get back to page 26. I do know what a hen weighs. Okay, what's a hen weigh? Mr. Knowledge repeats again. You can't help yourself. A hen weighs about 6 pounds. You shout from the audience. You love these old jokes. Mr. Knowledge gazes out at you in the audience. Very good, my young friend. You know the next answer to this question. You know exactly what to ask. Oh no, sorry. You may ask the next question. You know exactly what to ask. How do we escape from here? Mr. Knowledge looks startled. That is an interesting question, and it requires an interesting answer. Please join me up on stage. You, Jody, and Sid race up to the stage. Standing beside Mr. Knowledge, you're amazed to see that the whole audience has vanished. The answer to your questions is in this red ball, Mr. Knowledge explains. He puts a small red ball from his pocket and places it on the table in front of him. From a drawer on the table, he produces small cups. He puts them in a row, one cup on the right, one on the left, one in the middle. Then Mr. Knowledge takes the ball and places it under the middle cup. Now what? Find out on page 87. Okay, well, we all know where this is going. Mr. Knowledge begins to move the cups around the table. He starts slowly at first, then his hands move faster and faster. He switches the middle cup with the right one, then he moves the left cup under. Oh, wait, I should be paying attention to this. Okay, let's listen. He slowly starts at first. His hands move faster and faster. He switches the middle cup with the right one, then he moves the left up to the middle of the other two. The cup now on the left and the cup now on the right are swapped. You are getting dizzy watching his hands move. Where is the red ball? Mr. Knowledge asks. If you answer correctly, I will tell you what you want to know. Okay, so if you think the ball is under the cup on the right, 85. If you think the ball is under the cup in the middle, 15. If you think it's under the cup on the left, 73. So when you're playing a game on one of those quiz machines in the Jimmy Watt or whatever, and you play pub quiz and you have the whole round and you have to find the cheat, I'm usually very, very good at that. I think everyone is. This is just crazy because it's in literature form and this is just not. The last thing it says is the cup on the left and the cup on the right are now swapped. So if it starts in the middle and then it moves to the right, but then it all switches and the cup that was on the right is now on the left, I think it'll be the left cup. Hope you support me in this. Um, yeah, if you think the cup is the cup on the left, turn to page 73. You pick the cup on the left. The three of you hold your breath, waiting to see if it's correct. So much is riding on your choice. It's your only hope of escape. Mr. Knowledge lifts the cup on the right. No red ball. So far, so good. I will now give you a chance to change your mind, Mr. Knowledge offers. He places his hand on the left cup. You stare at it. Is the red ball under there? If you want to change your mind for the middle cup, turn to page 15. If you should stay with the left cup, turn to page 62. So I know that the way that probability works after watching enough Deal or No Deal is you should usually or you always take the switch. I don't really know how it works, but I know that they always say that you should take the switch. But if I was right in the first place of being like, well, it must be that one, I think I'm going to keep with the left cup. I might go back for the middle. Okay, stick with the left cup, turn to page 60. Ewan, Sid, and Joni all have your eyes glued on the left cup. You hold your breath as Mr. Knowledge so slowly lifts up the cup. The red ball rolls out. We win, you cheer. You, Sid, and Joni slap lives. Now, Mr. Knowledge, how do we get out of here? The answer is the red ball. He hands a small ball to you. Throw it against the wall, and your answer will be revealed. You hurl the ball against the wall. On impact, the ball splatters into red paint. The paint runs in all directions until it makes a doorway. You glance down at the hourglass. Oh no, there are just a few grains of sand left. Run for the door, you shout, pushing Sid and Joni forward. We're almost out of time. The three of you jump through the red doorway and find yourself back inside the magic shop. We did it, Sid cheers. We're back in the mall. Then you hear it. Ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Turn to page 11. Okay. The horrible laughter fills your ears, the rotting smell fills your nose, and then there he is, right in front of you, the magician. There's no escape, he snares. He grabs the hourglass around your neck and pulls hard. The cord snaps. Just a few more grains of sand left, he says, holding the hourglass for you to see. Then I'll have 3 new heads for my collection. The magician waves his hand. The wooden cabinet appears. He snaps his fingers. The doors fly open. The terrible shrunken heads stare out at you. The chubby one will go first, the magician says. You hear a clanking of metal wheels and you gasp. A real guillotine rolls to the centre of the room. Go to page 80. Okay. You stare at the glistening blade of the guillotine. You can't tear your eyes away. Then you notice Sid. He is taking strange stiff steps towards the terrible machine. Sid, you cry. What are you doing? You rush over and grab his arm, but he doesn't stop. Ha 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 ha. You whirl around and glare at the magician. Stop laughing, you scream. What did you do to him? It appears he is under the magician's spell. You see Joni trembling in the corner. He is in my power, the magician boasts. There is nothing you can do. You shake Sid hard. He looks like a zombie. His eyes are glassy, and he has the same blank expression on his face. Those gruesome heads staring at you in the cabinet. The trance must have made Sid stronger. He easily shakes you off. He lies down and places his head under the terrible blade. No, Sid, no. You glance at the hourglass dangling from the magician's hand. Only 5 grains left. You must have really good eyesight. Time is running out. You've got to do something. You can't stand and watch your best friend's head get chopped off. But what? Turn to page 95 before it's too late. We'll give you the book, you shout. Just stop the hourglass. Release Sid. The magician turns the hourglass on its side. He places it on the floor. You're relieved to see the grains of sand stop flowing through the narrow opening. You can't, Joni shrieks. You can't give him the book. He's evil. He'll use it to do evil. You know, he says. You pull her up for shoulders. The buckles open under your fingers. You grab the book. Bring it here, the magician commands. I can't watch you do this, Joni says. She sits by her bag and turns back to you. You clutch the book with your chest. You clutch the book close to your chest. You take teeny weeny baby steps across the room. Quit stalling, the magician demands. You cross the room and stand in front of the evil man. The magician snatches the book from your hands. A big smirk appears on his face, but it too soon turns to a grimace. Bad hair day, the magician splutters, reading the title of the book out loud. Go to page 119. I thought it was going to be your diary, but maybe it's just another book. This is my book, the magician thunders. Now you shout to Johnny. She jumps to her feet. In her hand is the real magic book. Johnny had been waiting for your signal. While you were stalling, she was searching for a magic spell that might help you. No pra e pra sla nook, Johnny pronounces. Ha, you say? You doubt the nonsense she just read will stop the magician. No, the magician roars. His hands fly up as he tries to cover his ears. Johnny repeats the amazing words. Oh, the strange words. Amazing, the spell seems to be working. No, the magician wails again. He wraps himself entirely in his cape, as if he hopes it will block out the sound of the spell. He's completely hidden inside it, then the cape drops silently to the floor. The magician has vanished. Did the spell work? That depends. Is today your lucky day? The magic book says Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are lucky days. If you are reading this on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, turn to page 134. If you are reading this on a Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, or Sunday, go to page 24. I don't know why I'm double checking. I know what day I do this. And it's a Thursday, and it's not my lucky day, and it's never my lucky day. I've died so many times. Let's turn to page 24. Let's do it. Too bad this isn't your lucky day. Ha 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 ha. Oh no, it didn't work. The magician is still alive. But where is he? You eye the crumpled cape. He couldn't still be under there, could he? You creep towards the cape. It's just a piece of fabric, you tell yourself. You try to shake off a feeling of dread as you move slowly towards it. Clink! Your foot accidentally hits the hourglass that was sitting on the floor. It skitters across the room, stopping in front of the cape. You reach out for the hourglass, but another hand clutches it first, a hand that stretches from under the cape, the magician's hand. Turn to page 51. You are frozen in fear as you watch the magician's hand grasping for the hourglass. Where is the rest of the magician, you wonder? You don't have to wait long to find out. The cape rises, rises, rises until it towers over you. The silky fabric slips to the floor. The magician stands before you, one hand holding the hourglass. His other hand shoots out and grabs you by the throat. You try to scream, but the words are choked off. The magician's fingers squeeze tighter and tighter. The hourglass dangles in front of your eyes. 2 grains of sand left, and then it will all be over for everyone. You must stop those grains. It's your only hope of defeating the magician. You struggle for air. You reach for the hourglass. You miss. Your lungs are burning. You're about to pass out. You only have one more chance. You lunge for the hourglass. Do you grab it? Close your eyes and let your finger land on one of the numbers, then go to that page. So the numbers are 77 or 88, and they are at the bottom of this page. That was marked earlier because it's right next to the Mr. Knowledge page, FYI. There was no cheating involved there. Okay, I'm going to mark the Lucky Day page because I want to see if there's a much easier ending to all this. I'm going to close my eyes. And I am going to go to page 88. Oh, okay, fingers crossed for me, lads. Give it all you've got, but your grasp falls just short of the hourglass. Johnny, you managed to gasp. Help me, use another spell. In and out of consciousness. You hear Johnny reading something weird. You do not understand the words. Your eyes close. You're about to pass out. When you become aware that the room is full of people, you feel the magician yanked away from you. Your eyes flutter open. You can't believe what you see. The man is being stuffed into the cabinet by dozens of attackers who look exactly like you. Johnny, you shout, what did you do? She bites her lip. I thought it would be a good spell. She holds out the page for you to read. Multiply your strength. It looks as if the magician has been defeated. As soon as the cabinet door clicks into place, it disappears in a puff of smoke. The other youths turn and gaze at you expectantly. It's a very weird feeling to be stared at by dozens of faces identical to your own. What are you going to do with them? Great, Joni mumbles, as if one of you wasn't too many. The end. I'm gonna take that ending. I could always go to page 77. Should I take that ending, or should I explore like that one final avenue? Because that was quite a good ending. I like the fact that there are multiples of that wee guy just kicking about. But I'll see if you guys want to know the 77 end, because I'm here to amuse, you know. I'm glad that I became the ruler of like loads of people like me, because it'll make every challenge in the future so much easier for me. I'm gonna read the other ending anyway. Right? You've you've got to kinda. You give it everything you've got, you stretch your arm out far, it starts to seize up. Use every ounce of strength you have and lunge for the hourglass. You've got it. Every muscle strains as you lift the cord and place it around the magician's neck. The hourglass dances under his chin. You're not too late. You watch a piece of sand drop to the bottom of the hourglass. The magician's face starts to change in front of your eyes. His eyes turn up into his skull. The skin on his face bubbles like oatmeal, so it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark syndrome, I guess. You realise that the hand on your throat has relaxed its grip, but it hasn't let go yet. As you take deeper and deeper breaths, air fills your lungs and you feel stronger. You reach back and swing your fist at the magician's face. The magician's head topples off his shoulders and bounces around on the floor. Joni screams behind you, but the magician's body still has your neck in a powerful grip. How can a man without a head choke you? But the fingers at your throat tighten their grip. Help me, you manage to choke out. Joni finds a sword on the wall and chops up the magician's arm. Then the arm falls and rises the magician's fingers off your neck. Thanks, you tell Joni. That was close. You stand up and walk over to the head. Yuck, you say, picking it up. You bring it over to the cabinet and place it on the empty shelf. It's over. What's going on? Sid asks. He's sitting on the guillotine. The trance must have been broken when you defeated the magician. It's a long story, you say. Then you notice something. The walls of the shop seem to be dissolving around you. You, Joni, and Sid hurry out of the door. You turn back and see the magic shop has already disappeared. You glance down at the magic book in your hand. It's fading away into nothing. Well, after a day like today, maybe you're not so surprised after all. The end. Okay, so I actually do think that the ending where you don't grab the hourglass and you get like loads of little U's that then stuff them in the cabinet is better. But that ending where his skin starts to like melt off and then your little sister who's 9 chops his arm off with like a broadsword, that's pretty dope. You know, I actually think that I've done this book right. Unlike with the other ones where I have loads of places to explore, it seems like I did every option on one path and then going to the clubhouse to give me an entire other path that I can then maybe revisit in the future. So I'm very happy with today's session that we all enjoyed. That was a really good one actually, but I had a lot of games of chance and questions that I was really, really, really rubbish at. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I think I'll be revisiting the werewolf one next of all because I only played like 40 minutes and there's so much left that I can read into it. Bye.